The LIV Golf Invitational-Jeddah recently concluded, and though it was a close contest, Brooks Koepka still managed to come out on top after 3 rounds. Koepka has also made headlines earlier in October thanks to his public disapproval of the way the OWGR has responded to LIV Golf's attempts at attaining world ranking points for their players. We'll be covering Koepka's victory and response to the OWGR in today's video. First up, Koepka wins at Jeddah. The LIV Golf Tour began back in June this year and has since held 7 individual invitational events. The final one took place during the second week of October in Jeddah. It was a 3-round event that had quite a few players aiming for the top spot on the leaderboard. However, when all was said and done, it was Brooks Koepka that finished off the individual season, claiming his first victory on the tour. Koepka was going blow for blow with his close friend and fellow American Peter Uihlein the entire event. When Koepka made a birdie on the first playoff hole, Uihlein matched it, and when the same was done for the second, his friend could do so as well. There wasn't much that could separate them for the most of the competition, but the Florida native did eventually break away thanks to Uihlein botching a shot from the sand that left his ball in the water. That hole was a breeze for Koepka, who did a textbook shot before making a putt that sealed his victory. That was Koepka's first win since the beginning of last year. That season was particularly difficult for the 32-year-old as he battled injuries that eventually led him to having knee surgery. Obviously, Koepka didn't have high hopes of winning a major this year or having much luck in his career, but this victory has definitely put wind into his sails. Up next, beating Uihlein. Brooks Koepka was at one point the #1 golf player in the world, having won multiple times in the PGA and having 4 major titles to his name. However, at the Jeddah Invitational, he was being tested by former world number 48, Uihlein. Both were determined to make their mark on the new tour, and they never let up in that pursuit. After the first day at the Royal Greens Golf and Country Club in King Abdullah Economic City, Koepka was leading by a 3-stroke margin, but that lead was overtaken after the second round by Uihlein, who managed to score a 63 that day. That put him just 1 stroke ahead of Koepka, who had finished at 67. The third and final round brought with it even more excitement, and as a few players rose up in the boards to compete with Uihlein and Koepka. When it came time for the final hole, there was a 4-way tie for the lead between them, Joaquin Niemann and Sergio Garcia. But they couldn't keep up. Koepka and Uihlein managed to birdie their way through to the playoffs, while Niemann and Garcia were left behind. We already know how that playoff turned out. Koepka made his birdie putt combo to end with 1 under 69, while Uihlein barely managed thanks to an awful shot from the sand. Both finished with 12 under overall, but what mattered was that Brooks won the playoff, taking home his first world title in over 20 months. Coming up, Koepka's team success. Brooks' success at Jeddah is definitely a big milestone in his career, especially considering that he didn't expect to ever win again. His injuries had left him reconsidering how much time he had left on the field and even thought about permanently ending his career. But this event has reinvigorated him, and he's now looking to the future. It wasn't just the individual title that helped him get back into things though. During the Jeddah Invitational, there was also a team event that took place. Throughout the LIV Golf Series, there was a team series running at every venue as well. Koepka is part of the team known as the Smash, and other members include his brother Chase, Jason Kokrak, and his rival that weekend, Peter Uihlein. It's funny that these two spent days going toe-to-toe in a heated individual contest, only to dominate together as a team later on. Together, the 4 Americans in Smash managed to bring back a total of -33 over the course of 3 laps, which is the cumulative of the 3 best scores every day. That score easily beat Sergio Garcia's Fireballs, who had only achieved a score of -27 to put them at second place. Third place went to Bryson DeChambeau's Crushers. This was the first time Smash had won in the season, and Koepka couldn't be any prouder. After it was done, he he said that the team's success was the most important thing to happen that final day. Moving on, discussing the OWGR. Brooks decided to leave the PGA Tour in June this year in order to play the LIV Golf Series, just as many other veterans of the PGA had done before him. He was no doubt swayed by the deeper pockets of the new tour, but these past few months have shown that the LIV can't get by on their money alone. One of the major problems being faced by the organization at the moment is that the top players that they've pulled away from the PGA aren't able to win ranking points with the official World Golf Rankings, or OWGR. Rankings in the OWGR are essential to determining qualification to many huge competitions that occur throughout the year. At the moment, the LIV isn't recognized by the OWGR, so their players aren't able to win ranking points while playing on the tour. That means that they can't qualify for those major competitions. CEO of LIV, Greg Norman, has tried to find a loophole in getting his players the points they deserve, but those hopes were dashed early in October. Norman figured that he could partner up with a small golf tour called MENA Tour, hoping that participation there would get Koepka and LIV colleagues OWGR points. However, the OWGR soon responded to that attempt by essentially saying that there was no guarantee that the LIV would get what they wanted. That means Koepka and company won't be moving up the rankings anytime soon, if they ever do. What's more, Koepka slams OWGR. Considering the impact that OWGR rankings have on the way a player's season might turn out, dictating which events they get to play, it's understandable that some wouldn't be too happy about their response. Among them are Brooks Koepka and Bryson DeChambeau. After the first round of the LIV Golf Invitational Bangkok, the two veterans talked to interviewers about the situation. They accused the OWGR of lying to the public regarding the LIV's desire to have their players get points while playing for the tour, and also called them out on the fence sitting, as they haven't really given a clear answer. Koepka said that he doesn't think they responded to the issue at all, and that he'd prefer if they just given him a straight yes or no answer, as opposed to drawing out the situation. If it was a no, at least they could go on figuring out another solution to the problem. As things stand, they just keep giving the LIV and its players in limbo. Funny enough, this is the first time that Koepka has seen eye to eye with DeChambeau. The two have been at loggerheads for ages now, so it's a shocker to see them both on the same side of an issue for once. DeChambeau was a lot more aggressive in his response though, saying that the OWGR is delaying the inevitable, and what they're doing is crazy considering the LIV has many of the top 50 players in the world. Last, on the MENA Tour response. Though there is definitely grounds for the LIV and its players to be outraged at how the OWGR is treating them, the current response to Norman's latest attempt at getting ranking points certainly makes a bit of sense. The MENA Tour is a Dubai-based circuit that holds events in the Middle East and North Africa, and it's officially recognized by the OWGR, so players taking part in it can win points. Norman's alliance with the tour was contingent on his players being involved in it a certain capacity. We now know what that entails from the OWGR announcement. Essentially, the MENA Tour has listed the first two tournaments in the series as being the LIV Golf Invitational events in Bangkok and Jeddah. The MENA Tour recognizes these as what they've termed as limited field tournaments. The OWGR has said that they're reviewing this change, and only after the review is completed will a decision be made whether points will be awarded in them. However, they stated that the notice that the MENA Tour gave them did not allow them to conduct the customary necessary review ahead of the two events. To Koepka and DeChambeau's credit, that definitely sounds like they're just delaying the whole process. Whatever the case, LIV is likely going to seek other ways to fix this problem. That's a wrap for this video. Do you think the OWGR is purposely delaying the process of LIV players attaining ranking points? Let us know in the comments below. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more videos like this. See you in the next one.